Hey all, yeah. So we're been having trouble again with the camera uploading the videos from the camera to my laptop. Well, I'm not sure what the deal is. The videos are fine in the camera; I can play them back entirely. But for some reason, transferring them to the laptop is an issue that so far I haven't been able to resolve. So I have a new USB camera cord coming. And I figured, well, I'll try the cord. Maybe there's something wrong, or with the USB port or the USB cord. So first, I'm going to check with the new cord and see if that helps. And if not, then I'll try it on the on my desktop. I don't want to hook it straight to the desktop now because I don't want to fry the USB port on it if there's something wrong with that cord. So the cord should be here in a day or two. I can get back to checking that. So I'm sorry I haven't been chronicling this build like I wanted to. And again, once I realized the first two videos I couldn't upload, I stopped trying to record them. But then I realized, well, if I just record them and save them in the camera until I can upload them, well then. But in the meantime, some work has been done. And so this is the current state of our White Freightliner build. I apologize for the extra noise. Yeah, bagpipes and rock music. Yeah, tremendous. So this is the chassis build so far. I've got the motor built up and installed. Got the fuel tanks painted and installed, both sides, the barrel tanks. Battery box strapped to the side. We got the fifth wheel, or whatever you call it, the trailer mount installed. And then this is the other side of the chassis frame assembly. And here's the cab. I do have it painted. It's not terrific as far as a paint job goes, but it'll work. It'll suffice. Blue, white. The interior will be tan and brown. I haven't built up the interior just yet. Still have all of this step here. And then also the cab will need to be outfitted with all of the hardware that it needs: horns, lights, ladders, bumpers, that kind of thing, the grill. So somewhere along the line here we're going to paint the grill, and all I do again here with this is I just mask the frame of the grill, the chrome outside of the grill proper. Just mask that off, cut a real skinny strip of tape and lay it across the center line here. That's just kind of how we did the grill on the GMC. That one didn't have a center line on it, or on the Mack truck, which did. So, well, anyway, this is the status of our build currently. This is 3 days in, I think. The first full day went to getting the cab built up, and then using filler to hide those nasty seams. See, there's a trace of it. If you turn it just the right way, the reflection will catch just a bit of a line across the top there. There's actually a line in both directions. There's a center line which is molded in that cuts down in this view east and west, and then the north-south, as you can see there, maybe is what's left of the joint seam between the front and rear half of the cab. And then the back wall went in real easy, nice and clean. And you can see that I did not have to use any filler on that at all. It goes together very nicely with just a bit of sanding. So that's good. And this is our build at this point. You can see that I still have a little bit more weathering or dirtying up to do on the underside. But for all intents and purposes, I'm not going to do too much more. This truck is going to be fairly clean. Let's see, that goes right about there. So a couple of things I noted with this truck is they didn't include enough parts for the exhaust stack, and all it really needed is a bit of framing. And most of these trucks, when they have a dual exhaust system, they're not just two freestanding stanchions. The just for wind effect alone would cause a problem. So what they usually have is a bit of steel bar framing, and usually it's just a Z bar. Sometimes it's an end strut. There's a top, a cross member, and then another cross member at the bottom. There's a diagonal piece typically in the center of that. So far I've only put the top cross member in there, and that's just piano wire. And that's to give it, not only to give it extra stability, but it also helped because when these are installed just freestanding like this, they tend to slant inward a bit, and this crossbar pushes them back out where they need to be parallel. Also, the other thing I noticed about these trucks, and this is true in every case, the exhaust stack is just way too skinny. So I always cut, and you can do this probably with plastic straw material. You don't necessarily have to buy aluminum tubing, but Precision Metals makes a whole array of different diameters and aluminum tubing, and you just pick the one you like and sleeve it right over the existing. I also cut them down a little bit. These stacks were about, I guess, this tall, and so I cut them short. And again, that's to get them, I like a little bit more like that than something way up here. That just makes more sense. I thought of even cutting them shorter than, still I like the short stack, especially on the Mac 600 DM. But on this truck, I guess they should be typical, and that's about what this is, not what they were. I took off about, I don't know, 5/8 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch shorter these stacks than the others. And again, just a bit of super glue will hold that on there, for as long as you need it. That's on there. That's not gonna. I could pick the truck up probably by this if it were stronger at the base. But that to me is a much better look. And then you just cut them on a 45 using a miter box. So you get one of these miter boxes. These are helpful. This is a helpful tool. So it's a miter box. Just presses against the front of your table. You don't have to clamp it. Just hold it. Hold this in the material with your finger, and then you can cut either 90° or 45 in either direction. And you'll need a razor saw, draw knife, whatever you want to call that tool. And you want one that's nice and high. If you get the skinny blade, it won't drop down into these slots. So you really need to use the get an 1.5-inch blade, at least. I mean, the 1.1/8 blade. This blade isn't really. It doesn't quite get there. It hits the top of the blade frame before you get to the bottom of the cut. So I would get the miter box and get an 1.5-inch razor saw. Yeah, and you can put handles on and make them a little easier to work with. But that's a really helpful tool in all phases of all kinds of model. But I mean, I use it all the time on the balsa kits. But it comes in handy on these plastic jobbers too. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Miter box, good tool. Razor knife, razor saw, equally good when used, especially when used with the miter box. You can free cut with those too. You don't have to use a miter box, but a free cut, you don't get consistency. This is a consistent 45 on here. In fact, this is one cut, so all I did was make the 145 long, far enough from the end of the squared off tubing, and then flipped it and cut it again to make the other one. So this is just, so that way I know I've got symmetry. That's one cut, if that makes sense, if you're following that. What else? Okay, only the interior to do. I'll probably make a video of that, and then maybe one of the cab coming together. We'll get the glazing into the cab, the windshield side glass, and then we'll pop the interior into the cab. We'll do that probably on camera. And then the last step will be hinging it, getting it attached to the frame, having that tilt cab feature working, and then blinging it out with all the chrome majiggers. So that's where we stand. That's today. Hope everybody's having a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and talk to you soon.